It always began with curiosity. That was why Alex was drawn to the old radio on his cluttered desk. It was a family heirloom, long forgotten in his attic until he dusted it off earlier that day. 11:58 p.m. lit up the clock on his nightstand as he turned the dial, the static crackling through the speakers. He raised his eyebrows, intrigued by the strange station he had discovered. No call sign, no announcer, just haunting, distant music that chilled the room. The music was hypnotic and also disorienting. It was unlike anything he had ever listened to. As midnight approached and the static faded away, a voice broke through the radio. Softly wheezed, high-pitched, distorted, and barely audible, that sound so horror and terrifying it says, "They are watching. Don't look outside." Alex stopped in place, hand suspended above the radio. His gaze darted to the window. His heart raced, but curiosity chewed at him. Finally, he got up and he went to the glass and looked out. A ragged, darkened shape stood silently in the dim glow of the flickering street lamp. It stayed still, but Alex felt its gaze bore into him. He staggered back, breath rasping. The murmurs turned to shouts echoing in the dark. They weren't only coming from the radio anymore. They were everywhere, bouncing around inside his skull. He held his temples, panic welling up inside him. "Stop! What is this?" he screamed, his voice shaking. The shadows on the walls did not simply stalk him. They pumped and stretched, dragging closer. In a panic, Alex reached for the radio, cranking the knob with all the force he could muster. But it wouldn't budge. The whispers grew louder, consuming his mind. An unknown, sinister-looking boggle-like entity only loomed shadows and mouth through him, consuming everything around him. Then, everything went silent. The whispers stopped. The room was eerily still. Alex stood still, his face pale, his eyes far away. Gradually, he started to disappear, becoming translucent until there was nothing. The radio remained on the desk, softly glowing in the empty room, the haunting melody continuing, seemingly oblivious to everything. Elsewhere, in a different room, a clock struck 11:58 p.m. A woman's hand reached out to an identical old radio, her curiosity piqued by the strange broadcast. Outside her window, a shadow figure watched from the distance, its eyes glinting in the dark. The radio crackled to life. The same distorted voice whispered, "They are watching. Don't look outside."